Morning, children. We're back to the school and it's time to start with our lessons. And today we will learn about our Earth, our Mother Earth. We know some basic facts about our Earth. That means Earth is a planet in our solar system. Okay. So what do you mean by a solar system? Yeah, the sun along with the 8 planets revolving around it, including the asteroids belt that's happening in between Earth and Mars. So all these kinds of things together, right? The sun and the 8 planets around it together, the entire system of this sun and 8 planet is called a solar system. Okay, so it means a system of planets going around the sun. Solar means a sun, related to sun. Earth is the 3rd planet in the solar system. Earth is the 3rd planet in this solar system. First one is Mercury, second one is Venus. Earth is the 3rd planet in the solar system, and it is around 150 million kilometers away from the sun. Okay, so the distance from the sun, the distance of Earth from the sun is 150 million kilometers. Okay, right? So Earth is a member in the solar system. Earth is the 3rd planet in the solar system. The first one is Mercury and the second is Venus, and it is something 150 million kilometers away from the sun. Okay, now what is the surface of the Earth made of? What is the surface of the Earth made of? Yeah, surface of Earth is made of only 2 things. One is water, the second is land. Right? Water and land. So the surface of the Earth is made up of water and land, and out of the total area, 3/4 is of water and 1/4 is of land. Or other way what we can say is around 79% of the Earth's surface is of water and around 21% is of land. Okay? So major part of Earth's surface is covered with water. Right? Major part of the Earth's surface is covered with water. So we have these people, astronauts. You know astronauts? Astronauts are those people who go into the space to conduct some research, studies and all. Okay? So when they go into the space, and from there when they look at Earth, Earth appears to be blue in color. Okay? Why Earth appears to be blue in color? Earth appears, see, look at this picture. Earth appears to be blue in color over here because major part of the Earth's surface is covered with water. 79% or 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered with water, and that is why when they look from the sky, it looks like a blue planet. See, at night when we look at the moon, it's more yellowish in color or golden color, isn't it? So that is because of the light that comes from the moon is getting reflected from the sun. In the same way, when we look at the moon, it looks like yellowish, or when we get a chance to look from the moon to the Earth, or from the space when we look at the Earth appears to be blue in color, right? And in the year 1969, in the year 1969, two astronauts from America, one is Neil Armstrong and second is Edwin Aldrin. Okay, they went to moon. Okay, and the vehicle in which they traveled is Apollo 11. Right? So, in 1969, for the first time in the history, a man landed on the moon. Landed on the moon means they kept their feet on the moon. So the first person, the first human being to land on the moon was Neil Armstrong. Okay, so Neil Armstrong. Okay, the second person was Edwin Aldrin. Right? So for the first time in the history of mankind, in 1969, man landed on the moon. So look at this picture, you can see that is a picture that was taken on the moon's surface itself. You can see a man standing there, that is Neil Armstrong. The picture was taken by Edwin Aldrin, and behind Neil Armstrong you can even see the spacecraft in which they went to the moon, Apollo 11. Right? So when they went to moon, they took photographs from there. They took photographs of the earth from there. As we take the photograph of moon from here, there, these two people took the photograph of the earth. So we got two ideas confirmed from these photographs taken by Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin. And in that, the first thing was Earth is a blue planet. Earth is a blue planet. When we look at the photographs taken by these two people, we can see the Earth in blue color. Right? The second thing that they confirmed was that the Earth is round in shape. Okay? The two things that we got confirmed from the photographs of Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin was that the Earth is blue planet, the Earth is round in shape. It's not exactly round in shape, but it's spherical, because earlier people believed Earth is flat. Okay? In the olden days, the people believed the Earth to be a flat body. Earth is very big now. It's very big. And what we have around us is a small part of it. A very small part of it. So a big, huge ball is Earth. And what we are on Earth, that is something like, a small piece of that. So when we stand on this and look at the Earth, we cannot make it sure that the Earth is round. Okay? Because we do not see a lot of it. It's like if you have a big football, a very big football, and an ant is on top of that football. Right? And Earth is much bigger, much bigger than a football, but the human beings are, when compared to that, not much bigger than an ant on this. So we do not feel it like a round body. So what happens is, in the olden days, the people believed the Earth to be a flat body, And after going for through a while to this flat body, they will fall off. Imagine this book as the earth. Okay, according to what the people believed in the olden days. So they are here and they started to travel, and after traveling for a while, what happens? They fall down. Okay, so the people believed in the olden days the earth is more of flat body, and they never wanted to go beyond the limit of what they can see, because they were afraid that they will fall down. It was the same time when people started voyages. We see 79% of our earth is water. Yes, as we discussed, the oceans, the seas and all. So everybody thought, or at least some people, the learned, the educated people, they thought if they cross these oceans, these water bodies, they may find another land somewhere else. Yeah. When we look at the map, the earth, the map, we can see the continents are separated by these oceans, isn't it? So if they travel, they will definitely reach somewhere, right? So at that time, most of these kinds of voyages were done by the people in Europe. The sailors from England, sailors from Spain, sailors from Portugal. Okay, they were the people who set along voyages, right? Some of them crossed the English Channel and reached the continent which is just below Europe, Africa. So some others crossed Africa and reached India, right? So all these were happening on the eastern side of it, right? So on the west of Europe, they have a Atlantic Ocean. Okay, nobody had dared to go that way, because most often they did all these voyages keeping the land in sight. They were afraid of going away from that. But there was one Portugal sailor, and this happened around 1590. You know? 1590. You know, before that, I told in the olden days, people believed the earth to be flat. Okay, so there was a Polish astronomer. His name was Copernicus. So he conducted some studies. He made a rude form of telescope also, right? First model of telescope. He observed this sky, these heavenly bodies and all, and he said, earth is not flat, earth is round. He was the first person to declare that the earth is not flat, earth is round. You know what happened to him? People said he is mad. But everybody knew he is a learned man, and he is not mad. Some people said he is actually making some kinds of problems among the people in the region, because he makes the people believe. He goes and to everybody telling, man, earth is not flat, it is round. Right? So people were afraid of him, and they asked him to change his idea. He was taken to the court, he was arrested for spreading some rumors regarding earth. And he was sentenced to death. He was killed. He was killed also. After that, someone who declared earth was round was Galileo Galilei, an Italian astronomer. He even proved it also. Okay, so that was a kind of a belief about the earth at that time. It was during this time in 1519, a Portugal sailor. A Portugal sailor means a sailor. Sailor means the people who go into the seas and ocean. His name was Ferdinand Magellan. Ferdinand Magellan. So a Portuguese sailor by the name Ferdinand Magellan decided to check whether earth is flat or round. Okay, so in 1590, a Portuguese sailor by the name Ferdinand Magellan decided to check whether the earth is round or flat. So how can we check it? How is it possible for us to check whether earth is round or flat? The only way by which we can check whether earth is round or flat is to go around it. If it is flat, what happens? He falls down. And he will never come back. Isn't it? If it is round, he can easily go back and come back to the same place from where he started. Right? So he started his journey westward. So all these time the people were going in the eastern side, and now he started his journey westward and tried to come back. Right? So he started his journey along with a set of his friends and others sailors to the west, so that he can come back to the same spot, back into Portuguese. He started his journey from Spain, a country next to Portuguese. He was from Portuguese, but such kind of a journey required a lot of money. He was a poor man. He was actually a sailor. The Portugal king, the king who was ruling Portuguese at that time, he couldn't afford it. The Spanish king said, okay, I will fund you. I will give you the expenditures, you do it. So kings had such kind of crazy ideas at that time, and they made use of the sailors like Ferdinand Magellan for such kind of activities. So the Spanish king gave him the money. So he started his journey from Spain. He started westwards, and it took him 3 years. It took him 3 years to come back. Okay, Magellan couldn't come back. They reached somewhere around this Indonesia or Singapore region when Magellan got attacked by some disease and he was killed. He died, not killed, he died of a disease. His body was taken to the land, buried there, and his friends and the team continued the journey and came back. They continued their journey and came back to Spain. Okay, so Magellan started with the journey. He couldn't come back because he died of a disease, but his team completed the journey, and it took them 3 years to complete a journey around the earth. We never had any satellites and all these kinds of things at that time to get the photographs and make it sure. But Magellan dared himself to go around the earth and make it prove that earth is round. And the time he has taken for that is 3 years. Right? So it took him 3 years to prove that earth is round. Okay? So who was the person who went around earth and proved that earth is round? His name is Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese sailor. He did it in 1519 with the help of the Spanish king. He went westwards to the west of the earth, came back to Spain, and the time he took for that is 3 years, and the program was funded by the Spanish king. Clear? Okay. Now what is the shape of the earth? Yeah, the earlier belief was that it is a round. It's a round, but that is not exactly round. That is not exactly. So Magellan traveled around the earth and proved earth is a round in shape. But what is the exact shape of the earth? Magellan proved only one thing: earth is not a flat, earth is a round in shape. But when we developed further, when Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin went to the moon and took this, images from there, and even before then, even before 1969, a Russian astronaut had gone to the space. His name is Yuri Gagarin. Okay, so they have taken the images of the earth from the space. They have taken images from the space and from the moon, and they have proved the earth is not exactly a round, a ball kind of a structure. Okay, so what we believe, even now, what we believe is the earth is more like a ball, isn't it? The earth is more like a ball, but the exact shape of the earth is, it's a bit flattened here. It's a bit flat on the bottom and top and bottom, and it comes like this. Okay, it's not exactly a round ball shape. It's a stretched at the center. This is the equator. We will learn about it later. Okay, so these are the poles. These are the poles, and this is the equator, the center part. So the center part is stretched. Right? The center part is stretched and the poles are flattened. Okay? So for convenience we say it is a round in shape, but it is not exactly round. I will show you a picture of it. See, look at the picture here. Now we can see the pole portion, the top and the bottom part of this this earth is flattened, and towards the center it's elongated, it is stretched, right? So this is exactly the shape of our earth. Okay, so the shape of our earth is not exactly round, it is flattened at the top and the bottom, the pole regions, the north pole and the south pole, it is flattened, and it is stretched at the equator, the center. So 3/4 of the earth is of water and 1/4 is land. Okay, so when we look at the map of the earth, we can see we have got a lot of water bodies around it, isn't it? A lot of water bodies, and these major water bodies are nothing else but the oceans, isn't it? We have got a lot of water bodies, plenty of blue color part will be there on the earth, the map when we look at it. And in between that we can see some land areas, and they are known as the continents. Right? So how many oceans we have? Or which are the oceans that we have? The biggest one is Pacific Ocean. Then we have Atlantic Ocean. Then we have Arctic Ocean in the north. Then Indian Ocean. The only ocean that is named after a country is the Indian Ocean. The ocean that we have in the southern part. Then Arctic Ocean. Sorry, Arctic Ocean we have already written. Now it is a southern ocean, or it is also known as a Antarctic Ocean. Okay, it is also known as the Southern Ocean. Antarctic Ocean is also known as the Southern Ocean. So Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Indian Ocean and Antarctic Ocean are the oceans that we have. In addition to these oceans, we have seas. Arabian Sea is there, Red Sea is there, bays are there, like Bay of Bengal, lakes are there, rivers are there. So all these come under this category of water. Oceans, rivers, lakes, then ponds, streams, gulfs, everything come under the water bodies. Now in continents we have, which are they? Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. Okay, so the major land areas on the earth are the continents, and they are Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, Antarctica, and we missed one. What is that? Yeah, Africa. Got it? So how many are there? Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, Antarctica and Africa. Okay, so these are the major land areas. With all these continents there will be some islands. What do you mean by an island? Small land areas which is surrounded by water in all four directions. Right? It's a small land area that emerges out of a water body. Okay, so 3/4 of our earth, 79% of our earth is covered with water, and the major water bodies are oceans, and the oceans are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Indian Ocean and Antarctic Ocean. 21% or 1/4 of the earth is covered with the land, and that is majorly continents, and they are Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, Antarctica and Africa. Now tell me, which is the ocean that we have very close to us? The ocean that we have very close to us is Indian Ocean. Okay, and that is the only ocean that is named after a country. Okay, and which is the continent that we are in? India is a part of which continent? Yeah, India is a part of the biggest continent on this earth. Which is the biggest continent on this earth? Asia. Okay, so India is a part of the biggest continent on this earth, Asia, and the ocean that is related to India is the Indian Ocean. Okay. So the next concept that we need to learn in this is horizon. Horizon. See, when we go to the fields, imagine this is a field and we are standing here. Okay, so we have these fields in front of us. In long distance, what happens is there are some hills also, and we feel, the sky. The sky is coming down, and it's touching these hills. Okay, or when we go to these beaches, we often see the ocean, right? We are standing here. We have this huge ocean stretched in front of us, and in a far away distance, we have this sky coming down and touching this earth, the water, right? So this point where the earth touches the sky, or the sky and the earth meet. This is earth, it's a sky, and there is some point where the earth and the sky meet. Okay, and that point is called horizon. Right? The earth and the sky meet is called the horizon. But actually, it's a feeling that we have. It appears to be meeting. Right? So as we were standing here, and we felt this is the horizon. Okay, imagine we are standing here and looking this side. Then we feel the earth and the sky meets here. Okay, so actually the sky and the earth will never meet. And why do we feel it so? Why do we think the earth and the sky meet? Because the earth is spherical shape. It's like a ball kind of a structure, na? So when we look from here, we feel the sky is coming down and touching on that. It is just because of the shape of the earth that we feel the earth and the sky touch each other. Okay? Actually, it never touches. We feel as is. As we go towards it, there's a meeting point also is moving away from us. Okay? So when we look from here, the sky meets the earth on the hill. And when we look from here, the sky meets the earth on the farms. It is just because of the shape of the earth that we feel. Okay? Earth never meets the sky. So horizon is such kind of an imaginary place or a point where the sky appears to have met the earth. Okay? So horizon is an imaginary point where the sky appears to have met the earth. Clear? So the next concept that we need to learn is cost. Cost. So cost is, what we can say, a point where the land and the water meets. Not at a riverside, but in the seas and oceans. Okay, when we go to the beach, we can see now the land comes there and the sea. It's quite beautiful there, isn't it? So one side is complete water. There is no land seen anywhere, and here we have land. Okay, so this particular part where the land meets water. Oceans or seas is called the coast. Okay? A coast is a place where the land meets the water bodies like the seas and oceans. It's very interesting to watch something from the coast. Or when we have ocean here and we have a coast. We are standing here and we are looking into the ocean. Okay, and imagine a ship is coming. Okay, so when we first look at this ship, we cannot see the complete ship over there. Yeah, I'll draw it here. Okay, we cannot see this complete ship. The first thing that what we could see is this part. Okay, so change the color. The top part of the ship with the smoke coming out of it and the docks. We cannot see the entire ship. As the ship moves on, what happens is we will have the first view of the ship. But again, it's not complete. Okay, as the ship moves in, we can see a bit more of it. Why is it so? Why is it happening so? It is because the earth is spherical in a shape. As say, when we look from here, based on the shape of the earth, it goes like this. Isn't it? So, first when we look, we cannot see the ship, but only the topmost part of it is seen. Say for example, if this is here and the ship is coming, what happens is, first we can see only the top part. And as it comes in close, more part of the ship will be visible. Okay, so coast and horizon are two areas which makes it assured that earth is a round in shape and not a flat. Okay, coast and horizons are two things that makes it assured that earth is not flat, round in shape. Clear? That's it. So now we will go on to the exercise part of it.